I was a Flathead County Sheriff, and we had identified a real need in our search and rescue that we felt was lacking, and that was an air resource or asset that was available to us. We set out to try and develop that resource. We had a need to be able to extract people from situations where a helicopter can't land, or it's difficult to hike to, or a rescue of them on the ground or on foot would not be timely or would place the rescuers in greater danger. So Mike Gogan's approach, not so much with the idea of, hey, will you fund the whole thing, but will you take a look at this, see if you can offer us any advice. He came back and said, I think it's a great idea, and I want to fund it. I don't want the taxpayers to have to pay for it, and I don't want the people that are rescued to have to pay for it, so nobody ever gets a bill.
He wants a world-class operation and have the best trained crew members or personnel, and then, of course, have the most advanced aircraft that we possibly can.
This is a pretty advanced helicopter as helicopters go. One of the things that Mr. Gogan specified when he funded the program and started was, I want it to be state-of-the-art. I want it to have the best equipment that we can possibly have to serve our mission of actually finding and saving people.
When you look at search and rescue, you always ask yourself what's best for the patient or what's best for the person to provide the quickest response and rescue capabilities you can. The helicopter is a huge part of that.
Starting at the front of the aircraft, an infrared camera. It's a thermal camera and works off of heat rather than anything in the visible light spectrums. High-definition color camera, a fusion camera, laser rangefinders that allow us to search day or night.
The camera system alone is a huge tool in finding and locating individuals.
It's connected to a pretty snazzy onboard computer system that the tactical flight officers control, and they can search through maps, find street addresses, augmented reality that can place trail names, road names, all that good stuff.
One of the things that sets us apart from a lot of other helicopters in the area or the region is we have a hoist.
And that's our primary piece of equipment that's used on rescues and what we get called for the most.
Our bread and butter rescues, of course, are in wooded areas where another helicopter can't land.
Many times they're not in open areas that we can just immediately access.
It's got 290 feet of cable, 280 usable, and we can pluck people off the ground at about 200 feet per minute.
It'll pick up to 550 pounds. It allows us to extricate people from anywhere they might be.
As long as weather is in appropriate levels for us to respond, it's 5 minutes compared to maybe 3 to 4 hours to get into the same scenarios.
Additionally, we have a law enforcement mission, so we support the Flathead County Sheriff's Office and regionally other law enforcement agencies that have a need for an aircraft for either overwatch or transporting personnel, just anything of that nature. Then that's been lacking in our area and region as well. The aircraft also has a searchlight on the back.
And we use that to size up LZs, the subjects we're looking for, the accident scene. It's also got some infrared filters.
We also have a device called a RECO.
Tuba Air Rescue is the first organization in North America to receive the airborne detector. We can lower that below the helicopter and cover a lot of ground at about 70 knots and 300 feet. And any reflector that we fly over is going to talk back, and we'll zero it in from there.
And find people pretty much anywhere, even if they're underneath the snow 15 or 20 feet. So we truly are a 24-hour operation. We can find you and get you out of the situation you're in just as well at 2 o'clock in the morning as we can at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. One of Mr. Gogan's requests was, I want you guys to go anywhere that you're the best resource for the job and that you can make a difference.
Our coverage area is 300 nautical miles from Glacier Park International here. So Montana, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. I guess there would be a small sliver of Wyoming, but we have yet to go into Wyoming.
So we have a crew of 3 people anytime we launch on a mission. Obviously the pilot. Then we have 2 rear aircrew person on board. One of those is going to either operate the camera, the FLIR camera, or work as the hoist operator. So he's the one that runs the hoist. Then we have a rescue specialist on board as well, and he's the guy that's going to ride up and down on the hook, go down, do any medical treatment that might be required to stabilize the patient, and then we'll ride up on the hook with the patient in whatever conveyance is medically appropriate, and then provide care for them until we can get them transferred to a higher level of care. Pretty much anywhere you get lost, get injured, something bad befalls you, we can get you from that location. Usually 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We keep a crew here. We do have sleep quarters here. So in the summer months when we're pretty busy, a lot of times the missions just keep stacking up. So we can get a little bit of sleep if we need to in between calls.
Yeah, Otto is, he's 5 years old and has grown up in the T-Bear rescue hangar and with all the guys. So this is his second home. He loves it here. Unfortunately, he gets volunteered for training scenarios occasionally. So Otto has been hoisted. Probably the hardest part of the job is when you have to go retrieve a body of a loved one and then have to witness the family and or friends receiving the news or receiving their child back to them, and having to be a part of that is tragic.
People ask, in 20 years of career, what keeps you in the career? I always say it's the little things, the hoists that we've done, that we've rescued individuals and they've come back, and I've been able to be a part of that, where that person survived because of what we did, with the aircraft and, the multiple resources that we had.
To have them thank us, over and over for getting them out of that situation. And we love it when they send us a thank you card or an email or, a bag of coffee or something like that. But that's the most rewarding part of the mission is, getting them out of that situation.
What did you do for a living? It's like, well, I was in law enforcement, I was on SWAT, and I was able to perform rescues out of a helicopter. I mean, those are good grandkid stories, right? So we have a very exciting job that allows us to do these things, and it's an amazing opportunity. Yeah.
This is truly my dream job. It's fun, it's challenging, it's a great program. There are very few, if any, like it in the country, and I'm just very proud to get to be a part of it.
I think bluntly, there's a lot of people that have money, but often they don't do like these types of things to help others. And I think it's very important to recognize that Mike does do that. He really supports the community in general. And I think that's good to recognize in our world, because not everyone does that. It's unmeasurable, the resource that he has provided to this community and, well, essentially the Northwest. And again, the amount of lives saved is probably unmeasurable as well.